Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rakshit Subramanya and today I am going to be presenting on the topic Case Studies of Air Pollution Episodes in Environmental Studies and E-Waste Management. Environmental Studies and E-Waste Management is a subject that comes under Information Science for Engineering, that is Bachelor's in Engineering course. So now coming to the introduction, so let's know about a little bit about air pollution. So air pollution is a significant environmental issue that affects the public health as well as the ecosystems worldwide. Now one of these aspects also come under e-waste, that is e-waste or electronic waste is also one of the growing concerns due to rapid technology advancement and consumer behavior. To understand that, e-waste also considerably takes the bigger chunk portions of air pollution, as some are, if not handled properly, they cause a lot of issues. So understanding the intersection between air pollution and e-waste management is crucial for sustainability development or a sustainable development. So now the air pollution often arises from industrial emissions, vehicular exhaust, natural disasters, as well as your electronic waste in some aspects. The impact of these can be immediate, affecting the air, like they affect the air quality, cause health issues such as bronchitis and others. So in long term, it includes respiratory diseases, climate change, like how we are recently saying rain in Sahara Desert. These are all part of climate change, as well as ecosystem degradation. So now one of the case studies that we're going to see is the smog of London 1952. So the Great Smog of London was a severe air pollution that was caused by coal burning and the weather conditions that take place over there. It resulted in thousands of premature deaths and raised awareness about the need for air quality regulation across the world. This led to the Clean Air Act of 1956, which significantly improved the urban air quality standards. Now, the second case study that we are going to see is the Bhopal gas disaster, or the Bhopal gas tragedy of 1984. So, the Bhopal disaster involved a gas leak from a pesticide plant, leading to a widespread air pollution and health crisis. So, on a given night, there was a leak of gas from the pesticide plant, which resulted in thousands of people who were killed in their sleep, most of them injured, and it highlighted the dangers of an industrial air pollution mostly. The incident prompted a stricter regulation on hazardous materials and emergency preparedness in the industries. Now, next we see the case study of Beijing air quality crisis of 2013. So in 2013, Beijing experienced an hazardous level of PM 2.5 pollutants, leading to the public health alert and visibility issues. The crisis prompted the Chinese government to implement aggressive air quality improvement measures. It showcased the importance of policy actions and community awareness in tackling the air pollution and climate changes that we deal with right now. Now, coming to e-waste generation and management. So e-waste is one of the fastest growing waste streams globally. It is driven by the consumers' electronic turnover, that is The number of times a person takes an electronic device, uses it and throws it away. So improper disposal of these e-waste can release toxic substances into the air, soil and water, causing air pollution, soil pollution and water pollution. So effective e-waste management practices are essential to mitigate the environmental and health impacts that are caused by them. Now in this you see the case study of Agboglish and Ghana. Mainly the case study of Ghana, I'll take it like that. I'm really sorry because I'm not able to mention the name, pronounce the name properly. So this case that happened in Ghana is known for one of the world's most largest e-waste dump where informal recycling occurred. So the workers were exposed to hazardous materials which led to severe air pollution and health risks. That is, they were burning all the electronic waste over there rather than recycling them properly. So efforts to improve condition include promoting formal e-waste recycling and community education was established as soon as possible to bring in the air pollution into control. Now again we see a case study in China of Guyu. That is, Guyu has been a major site for e-waste processing in China. The significant air pollution and water pollution is very high reported over there. The informal recycling of practices led to a widespread health problem among the local residents over there. So this prompted their government to initiate a transition to safer and regulated e-waste processing methods. Now, seeing the policies to air pollution and e-waste pollution. So, various countries have implemented policies to address air pollution and e-waste management. The regulation often focuses on emission standards, recycling programs, and public awareness campaigns. So, the international cooperation is very crucial in addressing the transboundary pollution and the e-waste trade issues. Now, the future directions that are taking place right now is there is continued research which is needs to be done to understand the long-term effect of air pollution and e-waste management, even though we know a lot right now. Then innovative technologies and practices in e-waste management must be promoted as it reduces a lot of environmental impact. Engaging in community and holders is vital for successful policies and implementation and awareness. So, coming to the conclusion, we learned that addressing air pollution and e-waste management requires a multifaceted approach involving policy, technology, and education. We also learned that collaborative efforts among the government, industries, and communities can lead to significant improvements in the air pollution and e-waste management. We also learned that everyone has a role to play in a foresting cleaner to maintain the healthier environment for our future generations. So I hope you understood something from this video. Thank you.